Today is a day to say thank you. Thank you to the men and women of our armed forces, the people who protect our country, our lives, and our freedoms while risking their own. It's our third annual Tribute to the Troops, and it's a day we at Fox are proud to share with you at home. These soldiers are brave. They have a choice, and it's their choice to put their lives at risk every day. They know the danger, but they do it anyway. There's a word for that. It's called hero. And we salute and honor our heroes in Atlanta today. If ever there was a day where baseball should take a back seat, today perhaps is that day at Turner Field. We welcome the Arizona Diamondbacks to town for the third game of our three-game weekend series. And while the Braves are hopeful of a sweep, they're also hopeful and mindful of the incredible sacrifices made by the men and women of our military. It's our third annual Tribute to the Troops. And Brave skipper Freddie Gonzalez very involved in his work with the Wounded Warrior Project, as the Diamondbacks and Braves welcome the men and women of our military to a very special day of Braves baseball here in Atlanta. Here's what's on the menu for today's action. We'll have interviews with soldiers and their families. The Georgia Governor Nathan Deal and Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed will join us. We'll, of course, have coverage of God Bless America as we do pay homage to our wonderful servicemen and women today. Hi again, friends. Chip Carey with Tom Glavine and Joe Simpson. Tommy, a very special day. Always a great day to see the men and women in the military at the ballpark.
Yeah, it is. It always is a great day. I mean, we get an opportunity, obviously, to watch America's pastime and their favorite game in baseball. And at the same time, we kind of pay tribute to our soldiers who serve us each and every day. And it's a fun opportunity to have a lot of those guys here, talk with them, talk with their families. So an all-around great day. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've all had family or friends that have served. We've had family or friends that we may have lost in the line of duty. So it's an opportunity for us today to honor those people, and it should be a great day.
Let's make it a great day. We've got baseball, too, and plenty of things to talk about between the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Atlanta looks for a sweep and a capper to what's been a spectacular baseball weekend in Atlanta. We'll get to our first pitch and lineups. It's the Braves and D-backs, and it's coming right up. Diamondbacks starting lineup presented by their skipper Kirk Gibson and Toyota. And some changes today. He's giving some of his players an afternoon off. A.J. Pollock leads off. Martin Prado's at third base hitting second. Paul Goldschmidt's been held in check so far with Hill, Ross, and Parra in the middle of the attack. Will Nieves behind the plate. Cliff Pennington in for Gregorius at shortstop. And Trevor Cahill's slumping, but he's pitching and hitting ninth.
They'll be facing Braves left-hander Paul Mulholland, making his 17th start of the year. 8-6 on the year. You see his splits there on the season. 4-2 at home. 4-4 on the road. It's been very good here at home. Let's hope that continues.
And his first pitch of the day is down low to rookie A.J. Pollock. Another warm day in Atlanta, 86 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, gentle breeze blowing. And a liner just out of reach of Simmons. Puts Pollock at first with a leadoff hit.
Pollock's earned himself another start, getting at the top of the order after that home run yesterday. 4 keys to pitching success for Paul Mulholland today. Number one, try to avoid the big inning. That's what hurt him in Kansas City. And also PR. One of the guys stepping in the box, that's the P. Prado. Good numbers against Mulholland. And R. Ross. Those guys are a combined 13 for 31 against him in their careers.
3 straight hits for A.J. Pollock in this series. And now Prado gets another warm ovation. And hitting .243 for the year. 26 RBIs and 2 for 7 in the series. And a quick strike. And you're right, Joe. Martin's numbers against Mulholland very, very impressive. Head-to-head, Prado 8 for 17 against Paul in his career. Up the middle, and Simmons can't get that. Pollock round second. He's going to go for third and make it without a play. And the Diamondbacks have back-to-back hits. Runners first and third in the opening inning.
Diamondbacks have lost 4 of their last 5, and of course had a late lead yesterday before the Braves scored all those runs in the 8th inning. So the thing that they would love to get going is some early offense and give Trevor Cahill a little breathing room. He's pitched poorly in June.
Yeah, they had not much going on Friday night. An ugly game yesterday, and the best way to put yesterday's game behind you is go out there today and try and make something happen early. So they're off to a good start in that regard. And as you mentioned with Mulholland in the open, he's got to stay out of the big inning. So I think here your mindset is maybe give up 1, but not 3 or 4.
And you've got their big RBI man up now in Goldschmidt, who's knocked in 67 runs in the first 80 games for the Diamondbacks.
Braves have pitched them well in the series.
Sharply hit to short. That'll be a double play, but it'll get a run home. No RBI for Goldschmidt, and Mulholland will gladly take that. 1-0, bases empty and 2 outs.
Yeah, one of the things that's helped him keep him under control, Tom, is the fact that nobody's been on base in front of him. Parra's been leading off, and he's 0 for 8 in the series, so he's hit a lot of times with nobody on base. So to get a double play from him there is outstanding when he's got a chance to drive in more than 1.
Yeah, that's good inning management right there. Like I said, first and third, nobody out. Realistically, you just gotta get out of there with 1. And like Chip said, he'll trade the outs for the run.
Arizona's glad to have this guy back in their lineup, Aaron Hill, who's starting for the 2nd time in the series. He doubled in the first inning of Game 1, came on as a pinch hitter yesterday. And that's out of reach quickly. No balls, 2 strikes.
It's the 3rd different cleanup hitter in 3 days. Montero, yesterday Chavez, and today Hill.
Well, Kirk Gibson admitted as much after the game last night. This Diamondbacks club is in first place out west, but they've lost 8 of their last 12 games, and really nothing clicking particularly well for them. They're not playing bad ball, but they're just not in sync as a group right now. And Hayward in right comes in, makes the play, and Hill and the Diamondbacks are done in the first inning. A.J. Pollock scores the game's first run. The Braves go to work against Trevor Cahill next. Tribute to the troops are brought to you by CPI Security. 1-0 Arizona. We head to the bottom of the first inning. The Braves have been awesome at home. They've won 27 of their first 38 games here at Turner Field. And the Toyota starting lineup hopes to continue that work with Andrelton Simmons leading off. Hayward, Justin, Freddie Freeman fourth. Brian McCann behind the plate. Ugla, B.J. Upton, Chris Johnson, and Paul Maholm. Really a set lineup the last couple of days for the Braves.
They'll be facing right-hander Trevor Cahill, 3-9 on the year with a 4.2 ERA, and it's kind of been going in the wrong direction for him here. You see the first 9 starts really not too bad at 3-4, but the last 7, 0-5. Hey! Giving up a lot of runs.
Month of June, a .368 batting average against him. And when things are going that rough, your 4 keys to pitching success, pretty simple. Sinker's not sinking, your cutter's not cutting, your changeup's not changing. He's got to fix a few things.
One ball, 2 strikes.
We were given that exact scouting report right there.
Right.
That he sometimes is missing outside the left-handed batter's box for a guy that's supposed to have a little control.
Same spot, same result. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, in fairness to Cahill, he's not gotten a lot of run support. He and Tim Hudson can talk about that. But to your point, if your team gives you 1 and you give up 5, it really isn't going to matter too much.
No.
And a comebacker is speared. And Cahill gets Simmons for out number 1. And they'll bring up Jason Hayward, who's having a great month. He wishes June would never end because he's our Wendy's Now That's Better feature.
What a turnaround from the first 2 months. 15 total hits in April and May. He's got 32 this month. Twice as many homers. And how about the doubles? 4 doubles in the first 2 months. He's got 8 this month. Candidate for Player of the Month.
To first, Goldschmidt at the line wins the race to the bag. And Joe, you pointed that out. That's stock in trade for Goldschmidt.
Yeah, the pitchers almost start pulling up about halfway to first base to avoid any chance of running into the big guy because he's going to take it to the bag.
Arizona has been a very good defensive club. They had a big mishap at third base when Chavez couldn't handle a throw from Kubel. That led to Simmons scoring what proved to be the game-winning run. And so a couple of changes with Pollock in center, Prado at third, Hill back in at second, and Will Nieves, the catcher. Braves start play today 6.5 games in front of the Nationals. That's the biggest divisional lead in baseball. Arizona's 2 ahead of Colorado. 2.5 ahead of San Diego, and all of a sudden, fellas, the Dodgers are only 5 back.
The Dodgers have been hot. Won 7 out of their last 10.
Won in a walk-off last night, didn't they, against the Phillies? Did the Braves some good?
Yeah, A.J. Ellis had the game-winning hit. And word is the Dodgers are hot on the market for a starter and a reliever. Matt Garza or Ricky Nolasco.
Yeah, well, with Beckett down for the year now, having surgery, need to replace him in the rotation.
2 balls, 2 strikes. They've gotten a huge lift from Yasiel Puig. 40 hits in June.
Mercy. Saw where Chase Utley hit 2 homers last night for the Phillies too. He's warming up.
And a swing and a miss by Upton, and that retires the side. Cahill off to an impressive start, and he's got an early lead. 1-0 your scores. We go to the second.
Stone from Sylvester, Georgia. My name is Sergeant Dylan Stewart from Rome, Georgia. Specialist Brandon Hale, Hinesville, Georgia. Specialist Larry Buser from Augusta, Georgia.
And I'm Sergeant Michael Gordon from Fitzgerald, Georgia.
The 878th Engineer Battalion from Kandahar, Afghanistan would like to say, Go Braves!
Love it.
Me
Love
too.
it, love it, love it.
Me too. And guys, find a little time to play catch while they're there too. But it doesn't take them long to get warmed up either.
No, absolutely not.
So we hope our servicemen and women who are probably watching the game on the satellite all across the world are enjoying our early moments of the broadcast. 1-0 Arizona, a first inning lead. So Holland faces Cody Ross, Gerardo Parra, and Will Nieves, the catcher.
That's our Ram Trucks power stats, and it has to do with Cody Ross, among others, and the numbers against Paul Mahalam. Pretty good averages against him in their careers. Told you about Prado, too, who already has a hit today.
Always liked this guy, Joe. We
Yep.
mentioned last night he was maybe a target for the Braves at the deadline last year.
You talking about the mayor, or are you talking about Cody Ross?
Love the mayor.
Okay.
I mean, he's at least an Atlanta fan today. I can't speak for Cody Ross. He's a good player. But we welcome Mayor Kasim Reed of the great city of Atlanta to our booth.
Mr. Mayor, welcome.
I couldn't be happier to be here. What an amazing day. Looks like we got a great day for baseball.
Yes, sir.
Nice day to pick a dark suit standing on the field for an hour before the game. Huh?
Comes with the job, baby.
Well, you're wearing it well.
Comes with the job. No, I was here to celebrate the troops from Fort Benning and the Army National Guard, so I wanted to make sure that I looked appropriate for such an extraordinary group of women and men.
You had some powerful words down there today when you were saying a few words before the start of the ball game. Wasn't wasted on me, and I know you're very involved in veteran homelessness.
No
what are some of the projects that you've got going on there?
Well, you know, the president launched an effort and challenged cities to start housing our homeless veterans. So they challenged 14 cities. Atlanta was #1 in America. The challenge was to house 100 veterans in 100 days. We housed 114, more than any other city in the United States of America.
That's great.
We've now housed more than 325 veterans in supportive housing. So we're not just putting them in a temporary situation. We're actually helping them with wraparound services to get their lives back. So I think that we can show that we honor our veterans by making sure that when they come back home from defending us around the world and keeping us safe from around the world, that they can get their lives back. And so that's how I've chosen to make a difference.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
And it seems like, Mr. Mayor, it's the least we can do considering how much the military benefits this city and how many sacrifices these folks have made for us.
But there's no question about that. We estimate that there are 1,200 women and men who are veterans who are homeless. So we're up to 350. My goal is to make sure that every single veteran is housed, and we're going to achieve that objective.
Fantastic. Ross strikes out. Parra rolls to the right side. Freeman to Mahalam, and Parra with a head first slide beats the play at first. And that's an infield hit, the third of the game for Arizona.
That's that one in no man's land that you practice like everything else 1,000 times in spring training, and most of the time, if the pitcher's not able to field that ball, you're not going to beat him to first base with the flip from the first baseman.
Can I just say that I can't believe I'm sitting next to Tom Glavine?
I can't believe I'm sitting next to the mayor, so there you go.
We say the same thing an awful lot.
I had to get that out. Now I can go back to being professional.
No, you can be whoever you want to be up here with us.
Okay, now that you got past all that, can we talk about traffic in the city?
Absolutely. Yeah, the folks should have voted for the T-Splot. That's my response to the traffic in this city.
Joe wanted to talk traffic, but he didn't want to go there, so I figured I'd go for him.
No, we can talk about whatever you like.
1 ball, no strikes to Will Nieves. This guy's done a good job at a backup role, Joe, for Arizona. Not many at-bats, but look at his RBIs. And 51 times up.
Yeah, 21 for 51. Hitting over 400.
Now, you had to be a big Braves fan, didn't you, Mr. Mayor?
No question. No question. Of course, Hank Aaron lives not far from where I grew up, over in southwest Atlanta. Of course, back when I was growing up, Phil Niekro was a big local hero. Dale Murphy was a big local hero when I was a kid. So that was kind of my era when I was growing up, but I was certainly a big Braves fan.
You know, the cool thing about that is they still are. Those guys still close to everybody.
I know.
Niekro and Murphy.
I saw
Terry Harper in here yesterday.
Yeah, I saw Phil Niekro when I was at the opening game with the governor. So the governor and I were here for opening night. We won that night. But, we have 40 Braves alumni who are here today.
Right.
And then they were over visiting the troops.
Mm-hmm.
We had provided some hot dogs and hamburgers for the troops. And when the Braves alum walked in, the place just erupted.
That's great.
Who was your favorite Brave as a kid?
Probably Dale Murphy.
Yeah.
When I was growing up. Yeah, probably Dale Murphy.
That's a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not alone in that regard.
Yeah. Dale Murphy was a class act. Really classy player.
Now, with the 4th of July rolling around in a few days, Mr. Mayor, how does the mayor of Atlanta spend his holiday?
The mayor of Atlanta spends his holiday training for the Peachtree Road Race. I'm running the race.
Really? Are you?
Yeah, so
hey,
I'm trying not to embarrass myself. So, I've been running every day. Trying to make sure that I don't embarrass myself on July 4th in the Peachtree Road Race. We're going to have 60,000 people in the city of Atlanta. I've been taking a lot of efforts to make sure folks are safe. So I want to be out there among the 60,000 people who are running the biggest 10K in America.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I don't know how good it is for me, but I think it's the right thing.
Here's a tip: don't wear the suit.
Yeah.
I'm not. No. Folks are, playing with me and on Twitter asking me what my time is going to be. I said my time is going to be that I'm going to finish.
There you go.
That's my only commitment, that I'm gonna get it done.
Well, I know, I'm sure all the runners appreciate the fact that safety's on your mind. Obviously, the way the world is now, it's a shame you have to think that way.
Sure.
Hopefully for 3 hours or so, you can take that off your mind and just enjoy the beautiful run through our beautiful city.
Beautiful part of the city. I can't wait. I'm excited. But that's really what I've been, when I'm not at work, I've been working out to try to be ready for the race on the 4th. And after that, I'll get a little break.
Good.
I won't be any good for anybody anyway after I finish the little 10K. So
You gotta rehydrate.
One ball, no strikes. As Cliff Pennington's the hitter. And a close play at first. Nieves nearly got picked off.
Looked like a little bit of a different move from Mulholland there. He had me fooled.
See, the Braves have some pitchers with some good moves, lefty or righty. That little sway with that front foot that might have fooled Nieves a little bit.
That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Mr. Mayor, did you play baseball as a kid? Was baseball
No.
your first sport? No.
No, my brothers were the athletes. No, I wasn't good enough to play baseball. All of my baseball was confined to sandlot. I was a football player in high school, and basketball and golf were my sports.
You still golfing at all?
I golfed before I became mayor.
Funny how work gets in the way, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was out at the Piedmont Driving Club where I have my tournament for charity, and one of the news stations thought that I was just out playing golf. And this guy comes running out of the woods like Caddyshack, saying, aha! And I said, I'm just playing a golf tournament for charity.
Like you were out loafing?
Yeah, I know. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You'd have seen this guy running down this hill with this big camera and his hat on, yelling, aha. But, yeah, I was decent before I got elected. So
2 balls and a strike to Cliff Pennington. He has us at first. 1-0 Arizona. And a broken bat roller slowly out to second. And Uggla's got it, and that'll retire the side. Mayor Kasim Reed, thanks for all you do for our veterans.
Thank you.
Wonderful having you here.
Thank you so much
Best
for
of luck
having
and
me.
keep up the great work for the great
thank
city
you.
of Atlanta.
Terrific.
And for those
terrific
homeless
team.
veterans.
You
Great
bet.
work.
Thank you for having me, guys.
By AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, by the Georgia Lottery, and by Ford. 1-0 Arizona. Braves are coming up for their turn in the second inning. And Fox Sports South's third annual tribute to the troops benefits the Wounded Warrior Project. And now you can support our country's injured heroes by donating now. Text WWP to the number 50555 and give $10 to the Wounded Warrior Project. When prompted, reply yes to confirm. Message and data rates may apply.
Isn't it great about that homeless project for the veterans?
Yeah, it's great work. Much needed.
Yep.
Freddie Freeman starts the second for Atlanta. And he jumps on the first pitch and grounds to second. And that's out number one. Hard to believe, fellas, this is the final day of June. But it's the first game of the official second half of the season. This is game number 82 for the Braves, who've won 47 times this year already.
Well, at this pace, they'll have a 13-game lead by the end of the season.
Exactly. You just got to double everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian McCann bats for the first time today. Mac at 241, 8 homers and 23 knocked in.
Yeah, it's that point in the year, too, where the players are doing a little self-evaluating, looking at that first half and saying, all right, what I got to do to keep things going if it's good, or what do I got to do to fix things if it's not?
I think it's a good place for those guys that are not to say, let me see what kind of numbers I can put up in the second half. How's my average look in the second half? And I think of Dan Uggla and what he did a couple of years ago in the second half he had, where he had that hitting streak and everything. He had a great numbers.
B.J. Upton hit 21 homers in the second half last year for Tampa Bay. And Tommy, that's something we talked about yesterday. The scary thing, as Brian launches one deep toward left, that ball's carrying and gone. Brian McCann may personify my point. There are a lot of guys that haven't hit stride yet. That's a good sign for Brian, his ninth homer.
That ball got up there, and I was like you, Chip. I didn't think he got all of it, but it kind of flattened out and just carried. It didn't really arc.
Yeah, I same with you guys. And then I started watching Cody Ross, and he just kept going and going and going. And that's when it kind of became evident that it had a lot more carry on it than I think we thought it did.
Yeah, he even had to change directions, make a left turn.
So, right off the top of the fence, and how many of you in the preseason water cooler pools had Brian McCann hitting the 100th homer of the year for the Braves this year?
Maybe, but I don't know about this early in the year.
Yeah, right.
His ninth ties the game with Dan Uggla in the batter's box.
Dan's gotten an early start on his second half. He's hitting 5 straight.
And he's Joe, our Lowe's Never Stop Improving feature.
270 average over his last 22 ball games. Some extra base hits in there and 10 RBIs. And he has climbed over 200. He's up to 203, which Dan says, you know, I can't really look at that. I just got to think about what I've got to do today.
Right. You know, and I think that's the thing you really have to guard against as a player when you're not having the kind of season you want to have up to this point in time is trying to get too much back at one time. You just got to kind of get that slow and steady wins the race mentality. And, you know, for Dan, again, if he's doing the damage, then you can stand to look at the average a little bit more.
And he's a run producer. I mean, that's what he was brought here to do. And while Dan has hit 13 home runs, The other side of that coin is he's knocked in only 17 other Braves besides himself. The good thing, though, is because he's walking fellas, he's scored 40 runs, which is second on this Braves team this year.
That's so interesting, Chip, because listen to this. In 2011, the year I was talking about, he had scored 43 runs before the All-Star break. This is not exactly pre and post. 81 games worth, but 15 homers and 34 RBIs, and he hit 185. After the All-Star break that year, 45 runs, he hit 21 homers and hit 296. And that was in the year of that 34-game hitting streak. So that's what I'm talking about with these guys, that their numbers aren't where they want them to be, but they've got a fresh start beginning today.
Well, that's one of the great cliches in baseball and really any sport. And it's a cliche because there's a big grain of truth to it. It isn't how you start, but it's how you finish. And despite all of these problems that the Braves offense has had, as Chipper said so eloquently to start the weekend, you're still 6.5 games in first place.
Did you say Chipper and eloquent in the same sentence?
Yes. He's a Hall of Famer now. You have to
okay.
Dress it up a little bit.
Now, there are always things you can pick apart, but at the end of the day, you're in first place, 6 games up, and it's a good place to be. And I think for these guys that are struggling, quite honestly, it takes some pressure off of them, because that's what everybody gets back to is, well, this guy's not that and this guy's not that. Yeah, but they're in first place, so it takes a lot of the pressure away. Maybe not for them individually, but maybe as the fans and as a whole. And I think it makes it a little bit easier for them to kind of keep their eye on, hey, this has been my bad stretch. I'm on the back nine, so to speak. I'm gonna make things better the second half of the year and hopefully get my game right going into what looks like a postseason team for this current group.
B.J. Upton walks with 2 outs. And Chris Johnson, who's hitting 8th today, has done a good job in that spot, will bat with a man aboard. All year long, Braves baseball on Fox Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, Tom Hart, Chip Carey, and a cast of thousands today on a very special day. And we tip our caps to our service men and women. Mayor Kasim Reed of Atlanta was here earlier. Governor Nathan Deal will be by shortly. Talk about our 3rd annual tribute to the troops.
Yeah, a tip of the cap to the Braves and to Fox for the effort again this year, because it is a wonderful thing to put this together. And today bringing all the troops over from Fort Benning.
Upton's running. The pitch a strike. The throw to second. A strike, but late. 7th steal for B.J. Upton.
Good jump, good crossover step, really good crossover. Will Nieves got rid of it quickly and made a good throw, but B.J. outruns it.
So a hit means a run. Let's see how carefully they pitch Johnson with the pitcher on deck.
Chris Johnson, the subject of our Georgia lottery, hitting the jackpot in his career numbers against the Diamondbacks. This includes both Atlanta and Houston, a .302 combined average, and this year 6 for 13 against them.
McCann's homer in this second inning ties the game at 1. Johnson can put him ahead with a 2-out hit.
Tommy, in this situation, as a pitcher, is it easy to get a little greedy in that you got a 1-1 tie? It's still early in the ball game, but you'd sure like to have the pitcher lead off the next inning.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, you can get caught in that thinking too far ahead and thinking just that, man, if I get this guy out, I got the pitcher next inning, that's set up for a nice inning. But the flip side, you got to be careful with this guy. Yes, he's the 8th place hitter, but he's swinging the bat real well, so you're not going to treat him like you do most 8th place hitters. You still got to have some.
Martin Prado gobbles it up at third, and the toss across in time retires the side.
Some sense of being careful, I was going to say, and he was. He made a good pitch.
25 pitches, though, for Cahill in the second inning. Brian McCann's homer off the top of the fence ties things up. We go to the third, 1-1.
Afghanistan. Giving a shout out to my Atlanta Braves. Welcome back.
Love those shout outs from our service members. And as we head to the top of the third inning, our game is tied 1-1. It's a pleasure to be joined by the Honorable Governor of the great state of Georgia, Nathan Deal. Welcome to Turner Field.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.
Beautiful day for a ball game, and what a special day this is.
It is a very special day. It certainly Fox Sports South is to be congratulated for making this tribute to the troops again this year. Certainly an appropriate day and a beautiful day to have the fans here thanking our troops for their service.
Trevor Cahill is going to lead off for Arizona in the third inning against Paul Mahalan. And he takes a quick strike.
Governor, I have a quick question for you about the troops, about the veterans licensure bill.
Yes.
Educate me. There might be some other folks, too, that want to know a little more about that.
Well, as you know, people in the military are trained in a variety of different areas. And we know we're going to probably have somewhere around 60,000 or more returning veterans back to our state within the next several years. We felt it was appropriate for them to be able to be assisted in getting licenses for skills that they've acquired while they're in the military. And we have passed legislation to do that, and we think that's the right thing to do.
Does it streamline it for them a little bit?
It does. It creates a committee within several very specialized areas, electronics, plumbing, and heating and air conditioning being three of the major categories, to make sure that they do have the skills and they've been trained appropriately, but to facilitate the time frame in which they would be able to get licenses to practice that as civilians in the state of Georgia. We think that was a very appropriate thing to do.
Absolutely.
A.J. Pollock bats and takes a ball inside. He led off with a single and scored Arizona's first run today.
We see you out here at the ballpark from time to time. You enjoy coming out watching some baseball?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is
anything to get out of the office, basically?
Pretty much.
I know you follow the career of the guy to your left.
I did. Yes, I did. I tell you, he's one of the triumvirate.
I don't know what that means, but I think it's pretty good.
It sounds good.
Ground ball to third off the bat of Pollock, and that's the second out. Well, Mayor Reed was here just a few moments ago, and it was so neat to hear how the city of Atlanta is trying to help house homeless veterans. Really great to see, too, the synergy between the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia in trying to make these folks feel as welcome as possible after their service to the country.
Very definitely. We have a great relationship with the mayor, and he's doing a good job as the mayor of our capital city, and it's always great to have a good partner, and he certainly is one.
2 outs for Martin Prado. And that's in at the knees for a quick strike. You were just in Warner Robins for a big event for the military. What was that all about?
Well, it was to acknowledge that we are making an investment there to be able to further educate and train military veterans. It's going to be right adjacent to the Warner Robins facility. This will allow veterans as well as those who are on active duty who are going to be soon in the civilian population to get the education and training that they might need. It's a cooperative effort between our Board of Regents representing our colleges and universities and our technical college system.
And how many service members potentially could be affected by that or helped by that?
I don't know the number on that, but it is a rather substantial facility. And as you may know, Warner Robins is one of those economic hubs in our state, and most of that is surrounded by the military facility there.
Well, how about Paul Mahalam's work in the 3rd inning? He got 3 outs with just 10 pitches. And Governor Deal, a pleasure to have you here at the ballpark. Thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be with you. Let me leave you one final thing. Okay. I saw one of your friends, Bobby Dews, this past week.
Did you?
I did. A quick story. It was down in Albany, Georgia. I had an event down there. Bobby Dews was a fraternity brother of mine at Mercer University.
All right.
Wow.
So you know all the secrets.
I know all the secrets. A great guy, and certainly I know that he's been a fixture here for a very long time and is a very endeared figure and a good friend of mine, and it was just good to see him.
Well, thank you for keeping us up to date on the Poet Laureate of Baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
Bobby Dews.
Right.
Governor, great to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One game. Our thanks to Mayor Kasim Reed, Governor Nathan Deal, for their participation in our 3rd annual tribute to the troops.
I didn't want to go to traffic with the governor. I was a little intimidated.
Well, get one a game. 2 balls and a strike.
I like that diagram you had ready, though, for that super loop outside the perimeter.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I got it all figured out.
I think you do.
As far as I know.
Yeah. There's jet cars.
The fun-loving would-be guy at the DOT.
Thank goodness he wasn't here, that DOT guy, because there would be some questions.
Yeah. Well, he's here in spirit as Mahalam takes a called third strike. Let's check in with Tom Hart for the first time on this special day. Tom?
Chip, thanks. I'm with First Lieutenant Ariel Castro and his girlfriend Cherie enjoying the ball game today. I know you're happy to have him back from leave. He just came back from Afghanistan 9 days ago.
Yes, I'm very excited to have him home.
What's it like being out here at the ballpark today?
It's epic. I can't describe it, to be honest with you. I mean, this is beautiful.
What makes it so special for you, especially given your experiences over the last 9 months?
I have to say, just being amongst, my family and friends, and just being out here, everything that you guys are doing for us, it really makes me and us appreciate what we do.
He was gone for 9 months. As a girlfriend, how do you deal with that?
You try to stay busy, you try to stay positive and stay focused on. When I first met him, one of the things he told me was everything's about the mission, and you can do anything for a short period of time in order to complete the mission. So I just tried to stay focused on his mission there and my mission at home.
That's amazing. That's an amazing sentiment. The patience that you must have, not only to serve our country, but also put personal relationships on the back burner for 9 months or more.
Yeah, it really is, but I love my job. I love this country, and this is what I do. This is what I am.
Anything that you could do today that would make a day at the ballpark even more special?
You know what? I can think of something. Cherie, I love you. And I was wondering if you grow old with me.
Besides that one word, do you have any other words to explain this?
Go Braves.
Guys, I don't know how a day at the ballpark could get any better.
No, that's awesome.
Man, I thought he was going to say, yeah, I could pinch hit or something, but,
I think he just hit a homer.
Yeah, he did.
Awesome.
Her reaction was great.
It was great. Go Braves. That's awesome. What a great couple.
And it underlines another real important story as Simmons reached with an infield hit. Let's not forget the spouses, the children, the other caregivers for the service members who have to act as not one but two parents in many cases. All these folks are overseas protecting us. So truly a happy homecoming today. Hayward continues his sizzling June as he singles with one man out. First and second for the Braves here in the third inning.
Second time around through the order for Cahill might get a little rougher. His numbers kind of bear that out for the season. But he also started off 5 for his first 5 on first pitch strikes. He's now 0 for 6 on first pitch strikes. So the guys are getting a little better counts to work with too.
So that was an 18-game winner last year, man. He's 2-9, 3-9, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, you sit here and you go over their game notes and you look at some of the things he's done in his career. Actually, it's a 13-game winner last year.
13.
He did win 18 though a couple years ago for Oakland.
He's done some really good things, and then it's just he's having this stretch seemingly out of the blue where he just can't seem to get out of his own way. But that's the nature of the game sometimes.
Justin Upton the batter, and that's taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. That's really a problem for this Arizona club. If they're going to hang out up west, they've got to straighten out their starting pitching. I mean, Patrick Corbin's 9-0. This is an Arizona ball club that's 4 over 500. It tells you what the rest of their staff has done this year.
You know, we've talked about their starting rotation struggles and even winning a game here of late. They're not going to stay in first place for long if that continues.
They head to New York next and start a series with the Mets coming up.
We were talking about the second halves and guys that have been hitting at or below 200 and a chance for them to kind of get a restart. Well, Justin Upton's a guy that got off to the great start. I mean, he was a player of the month for April. Wonderful numbers. But all of a sudden, he's hit a real dry spell. And he's only hit one home run since May 18th. And that came June 12th at San Diego. So his dad's in town. Maybe that'll give him a spark. There's the boss man.
2-on-1 out tie game. And a chopper toward short. Second one. Hill the turn and not in time. Upton beats the wrap. Cahill is a double play inducing machine. But Upton's speed and a hard slide by Hayward keeps the inning alive in the third.
Yeah, Hill knew he was coming and coming hard. Tried to use the bag to protect himself, but to get the throw off, he had to lean into it a little bit.
Little things mean a lot in close games. Let's see if that gives Freeman an RBI hit. Freddie grounded out his first and only time up. He's been so good this year with 2 outs. Fly ball well hit left center. Look at that ball rocket out of here.
Freeman's going to get 3 RBIs, but give an assist to Jason Hayward.
Those are the things we talk about all the time, the different things you can do besides hitting to help your club win a game. And extended that slide extended the inning, and Freddie made him pay.
53 RBIs for Freeman. Of those 53, 27 have come with 2 outs.
And here's the play at second base again that set this up, prevented the Diamondbacks from turning the double play. Hill had to leave his feet to avoid Jason and didn't get much on the throw, didn't get enough on the throw to get Justin at first. And that set up a Freeman at bat. Outstanding baseball.
So the big fly, the big story, but not the only story. The Atlanta third is McCann, who's also homered. Faces a 2-2 pitch. And fellas, the ball is jumping today.
I mean to tell you.
It's summertime in Atlanta. Ball flies a little bit more here, but
I was just hoping that had a chance to get over Pollock's head, but then when I saw him kind of pull up and like look up like he wanted to see where it was going to land, surprised me.
Now McCann pulls the ball. Pollock can't get that. Brian McCann has 2 extra base hits, 1 to left center, now 1 to right center. That's the 4th hit of the inning.
Let's take a look at the pitch that Freeman hit. Tommy, might be more of the same for Cahill.
yeah, it looked like a sinker that they're trying to go down and away with. It was down, but it didn't have that finish on it. It just kind of stayed down and over the heart of the plate. You know, and that's the difference, and that's what's frustrating sometimes as a pitcher. You know, even though that ball's down, but because you don't get that finish that gets you out of the center of the plate, now you're not able to get that ball off the end of the bat. Instead, it's on the barrel and ball travels.
How much of that is from his finger pressure?
You know, it can be.
I've heard you guys talk about that.
It can be that, or it can be, you know, just something mechanical where maybe he's not getting out over his front leg as much, or not finishing down through the pitch as much. You know, and sometimes that comes because you're in one of these stretches. You're trying to help yourself get out of it, and you start trying to force pitches or help pitches a little bit more instead of just letting it happen. And when you start trying to help pitches, it's usually not a good thing.
4-1 Braves in the third.
I read something about him before the start today. Kirk Gibson was calling him very inconsistent, and then Cahill said, but my delivery's inconsistent. He said, I can sometimes change things from start to start, even inning to inning, where he's fiddling with it.
Well, that makes it awful hard to figure out what's going wrong when it is. It'd be like a hitter that goes up there with a different batting stance every at bat. Well, if you're struggling and you got 101 batting stances, it's really hard to narrow down what's going on. That to me is why, with pitching, you try to make your mechanics as consistent as they can possibly get, so that you can start to narrow down what's going wrong when something is going wrong.
Yeah, I think if we showed some wind-ups of you at the beginning of your career to the end, there's very little change. Same with, I would say, with Smoltz, Maddox. It was all.
Yeah, I mean, I had a little change in those first 2 years, but once I figured it out and started throwing strikes, there was very little change after that.
Yeah, well, once you fix it and it's not broken, why change it?
No, from that point, it's just, you've got something that you've shown through practice that you can be consistent with, and you got to bring it into a game. Well, again, the more you can stay with that consistency, it's so much easier to narrow down when you go through those stretches where things aren't going right.
And that's what's so surprising about Cahill, who's been a double-digit winner in the big leagues 4 separate seasons. 13 wins last year, not 18. As I said earlier, the 18-game year was in 2010 with Oakland.
Like we talked earlier, too, their broadcasters told us, and we've seen it. I'm not sure what to tell you when you're throwing sliders to right-handed hitters that are almost out of the left-handed batter's box. It's like, okay, you're throwing it that far off target. What are you doing? You're doing something wrong. But again, if you're making adjustments from inning to inning, pitch to pitch, sometimes, then it makes it hard for your pitching coach to come out and say, hey, here's what I see you're doing. You're holding on too long, or you're crossing over too much, or because you don't know what he's doing.
Foul again at third. Tom Joe's made the point several times too. That pitch is so wide, it's not close enough for the hitter to even think about offering.
No, that's nowhere remotely close for these guys to begin to offer at. Now, if he throws a few in the zone and then throws one over there once in a while, yeah, you might get a guy to flinch at that. But I don't know that he's thrown too many in the zone to make him respect it.
Missed badly again. 25 pitches last inning. I believe 30 now here in the third. And Charles Nagy, the pitching coach, will make his way to the mound.
Time for our Georgia Power Energy Tip number 8. Javi Lopez, number 8. Georgia Power's Power Credit program is designed to reduce the amount of energy used by your home's air conditioner when the demand for electricity peaks in the summer. Good to see Javi at the banquet and in the alumni game yesterday. Looks great. Looks like he could play right now. He probably could.
He looks like he could.
B.J. Upton walked in the second. The first of 2 issued by Cahill in the game. McCann and Ugla lead from second and first. One ball, one strike. Final day of June 2013. The Pittsburgh Pirates have the most wins in baseball.
I can't think of too many people outside of the Central Division that could be happier for them than the rest of baseball, because that one note today, they're the first team to get to 50 wins this year, and that's the first time that's happened for the Pirates since 1960, the Mazeroski year. I don't know that St. Louis and Cincinnati are all excited about that.
That's outside.
There's another thing right there, Tom, and that is if you're wild all over the place and you do make a decent pitch, you're not going to get the call.
No, you're not going to get any of the borderline calls.
They're stirring in the Arizona pen as Cahill's about to make his 35th pitch of the inning. And it's popped into right. That's playable, and it's caught by Parra, who managed to keep his feet today. 3 runs across in the Atlanta third. Simmons led off with an infield hit. Jason Hayward with a hit and a takeout slide. That kept the inning alive for Freddie Freeman, who parked a 3-run homer with 2 outs. At Turner Field, a couple of long home runs, and our folks at Fox Sports South really treated the guys and gals from Fort Benning first class style. Got here on the Fox Sports South Express bus, greeted at the gates.
Yeah, greeted there by Senior Vice President and General Manager of Fox Sports South, Fox Sports here in this South region, Jeff Gentner, and by General Butterworth. Just a great day. Weather's great. Braves are winning. What else?
Had a marriage proposal.
Yeah, yep. And an acceptance. That's always important.
Yeah.
She said yes.
And right afterwards said, "Go Braves," not "Thank you" or "I love you." So she's got her priorities in line. Baseball game today. Hey! A wonderful day so far for Paul Mahalem, who, Joe, for the second straight start, has gotten some early inning run support, and for him that's often key.
Yeah, Brian McCann involved in both of those starts. Hit the grand slam in Milwaukee his last start. Brian tied it up with a homer today. And another good opportunity here to pitch to this guy with nobody on base.
And that's how you like to face Goldschmidt. He's having a super year. Getting to a double play in the opening inning. After the first 2 Diamondbacks had singled. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the double play ball has been key in this game. Braves, Mahalem got one early to stay out of the big inning, and Diamondbacks weren't able to turn one, and Braves turned it into a big inning.
Good point.
A cue shot. Mahalem will apply the tag, and yes, Milwaukee finally with the call at first. Goldschmidt is the 6th consecutive out for Paul today. One away.
Braves pitching, we've been bragging on it all year long about how good it is. Part of our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. Check this out. Braves franchise history, the best ERA at home belongs to the Milwaukee Braves of 54, then 58. Then you got to go to Boston, 33 and 37. But this Atlanta Braves team, right now the 5th best at home all time. Now there's one thing on there that I noticed earlier today that kind of took me back, that I didn't realize that the Braves were the Braves, then the Bees, then back to the Braves. I thought that the progression was from the Bees to the Braves.
I didn't know that either.
So that surprised me.
And we were surprised too, and no disrespect, but you would think that the big three, Smoltz, Maddox, and Lavin, would have been on that list somewhere.
Well, we probably were, but then Avery and Nagel or somebody was dragging us down, you know. Yeah, how that goes.
That was coming. I beat me to it.
I just tee him up, Joe. I just tee him up.
Oh, what a lousy supporting cast.
And Ole, you know, he's probably putting down the wrong pitches because he was still thinking about all the free stuff he was getting off the field. You know, I mean.
2 balls in a string. But that may be the most underreported story of this Braves club this year, is lost in all the home runs and the strikeouts, the wins, and all that stuff that's going on. This pitching staff has been remarkably good.
Yeah, I think people recognize that they've been good. I don't think they realize it's been that good.
I tell you where it's not wasted, and that's on the manager and the pitching coach.
Right.
And the general manager and his staff, they know.
And let's not forget, Brandon Beachy has not pitched an inning this year. He was the Braves' best pitcher as far as results were concerned at the time of his injury. And this is an Atlanta bullpen that's lost 2 hugely important left-handed relief pitchers in Johnny Venters and Eric O'Flaherty.
Yeah, we have some time to talk about this right here, unless he gets a 1-pitch double play ball. With the prospects of Brandon coming back naturally, where and how do you make room for him? And it's almost like the first words out of most people's mouths is, "Oh, we can trade Mahalam." A guy, if he hangs on today, he's going to win his 9th game. Is that something you really want to do?
No, and then the other thing everybody says, "Oh, we'll just put Medlin back in the bullpen." Well,
Yeah.
Look how good he's been throwing.
Right.
I mean, every guy in the rotation has a case to say, "Why me?" You know, so you know, but it's funny, and you know, obviously, hope it doesn't happen again. But we've talked about it, how the baseball gods always seem to sort these things out themselves, and in this case, it was Brandon having a setback. Now, you hope that doesn't happen again, because as a club, it's a great situation and a great problem to have. But it will be interesting to see how it's solved.
The other side of it to me is that I'd be hard-pressed to come up with a guy who came back from Tommy John surgery in his 12th or 13th month after the surgery and pitch lights out like he did before.
Right.
It takes a little progression, a little build-up to get back.
It takes time. I mean, you know, you can't assume he's going to pick up where he left off.
Right.
Double play ball too short. Ugla the turn, and Ross is going to be out.
It was a 3-pitch double play, so we got it all in.
Nice work. Mahalam's through 4 innings with a 4-1 lead. He'll bat second when we return.
troops, and the Braves are helping out as well with a 4-1 lead as we head to the home half of the fourth inning. As the Braves look for a sweep. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart back at the ballpark, joined by a father-son tandem. Sergeant First Class Kevin Gardner, Sr. and Jr. Guys, thanks for being with us.
Nice to be with you.
You know, you guys weren't able to be at the second annual of these last year. What a difference a year makes after being stationed in Kuwait, deployed to Kuwait for a while. What's it like being at the ballpark today?
It's great. It's great.
You guys were over there together. Now, he came out before you did. You guys grew up big sports fans. Your dad always take you to games?
Yes, he did. A lot of football games, a couple of baseball games here and there, basketball, we just grew up big sports fans.
How did you guys, I know your family's been in the military for a long time. What was that call to serve like for you?
It was great. It was a pretty awesome experience. I didn't know what to expect until I got there. I did basic in Fort Knox, Kentucky, and my uncles didn't prepare me for that. So it was
Who could, right?
Nobody.
What kind of influence did your dad have on you in your military career?
A big influence. I don't think if it wasn't for him serving and him serving his country the way he's done and being successful and so much he's accomplished, I don't think I would ever have joined. So he's a big influence on my military career. He is.
Yeah, like father and like grandfather. 20 years for you coming up, and then retirement right around the corner. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
What's next for you once you hit retirement?
Watch my grandchild grow up.
That's awesome. The first game that you came to, you saw David Justice climb a wall. How do you grow up and learn to be a Braves fan after watching great plays like that and finally a chance to come back to Turner Field today?
I didn't actually think I would be here, but it's great. I appreciate the event that they put on for us. It's pretty special. I get to see it with my son, military soldiers serving together. That's a pretty decent thing.
I got to imagine this is rare, though, a father and son not only serving together but also being deployed to Kuwait at the same time. It just doesn't happen all the time, does it?
We experienced it before. We also went to Korea together. He went a little ahead of me, and I came on behind him. So we was prepared for it. We experienced it a little bit, and we were also in the same unit at that place in Korea as well. So, we were used to it.
20 years in the service. Where else have your travels taken you?
Wow, a lot of places. Germany, Iraq, of course, Italy, and a few other countries. It's been a long career.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for your service. Are you going to put 20 in or more?
I'm looking forward to putting in 20 right now. Right now I'm only down 4, 16 more to go. So I guess you can say I'm going to do 20.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for everything you do. Appreciate it. Hope you can enjoy the rest of your day at the ballpark. Thanks so much. Chip, the section is full of them. Stories everywhere we turn, and it's fun to watch a game with a bunch of guys like this.
Yeah, you might have the best job in the ballpark today, Mr. Hart. Paul Mahalam bats with one out and swings and misses from Trevor Cahill, the Arizona starter today. Already over 80 pitches. His 82nd strikes out Mahalam. That's his third strikeout in the game. 2 quick outs. And it's trivia time. We nailed it again last night, I think.
No, you didn't. I had it right at home, but you guys didn't get it right here.
Well, it felt like a win, if that helps.
You had Tony Clark? I did. Wow.
Yeah. Well, our AT&T Universe trivia question today is, what former Brave holds the all-time record for most career wins against Arizona?
So he's either retired or traded, right?
Mm-hmm. He better not be in the booth.
I don't know. I know I always pitched well out there, but I don't think I had that many wins against them overall.
There's another former Brave in another booth today.
There is.
The star of the Old Timers game.
Is that
factual or in his own mind?
Well, he was going booth to booth, letting everybody know about his homer.
Well, that's not surprising.
No.
You know what else he did? Came in the booth wearing his hat yesterday.
He did?
Yeah, had his hat on. He just sat here without talking, looked into that camera, and was showing off his home run hitting hat. Greg Olson. He, of course, being John Smoltz. Today's game also being broadcast nationally on TBS. That's Ron Darling on the left of your screen. And Brian Anderson. Working for Turner Sports today. And Simmons aboard with a 2-out walk. Cale's been all over the place.
Walks have been an issue for him all season long, but especially here in June, and averaging over 3 walks per start. And when you're not going 9 innings, when you say start for him, you're talking about just a select number of innings.
Well, walks in general have to be driving Kirk Gibson and Charles Nagy crazy this weekend.
Yeah, yesterday, who knows what happened to David Hernandez? Boy, oh boy.
We have 5 walks that one inning.
Yeah, in the 5th inning, the Braves got 4 walks, scored 2 runs without benefit of a hit. That was off Kennedy.
And then with 1 out in the 8th, back-to-back hit batsmen. And a 7-run inning, the biggest run-scoring inning of the year. As the Braves pulled away and won 11-5. Ground ball under the glove of Hill and into right field. Jason Hayward is swinging a magic wand right now. 2 more hits. Red hot.
And when you are red hot, that right there happens. When you're not, that's a diving catch and a 4-3 inning over. But when you're going good, they find holes.
6 for 12 in the series. We've been talking about Gerardo Parra out in right field and being a good outfielder, and some funny things have happened to him in this series, no question. But I'll tell you what, the way he charges the ball, and because he's got a good arm, he pretty much puts an end to anybody thinking about going first to third. He's done that twice already to Simmons.
So Justin hits. He's 0 for 2, but has scored a run. 2 on, 2 out.
You're caught not to make the first or third out at third base, but Andrelton took a look out there and saw how close and how hard Parra was charging, so that just immediately you throw out the anchor.
Nothing in 2. Speaking of strong-armed right fielders, hope Jeff Francoeur catches on somewhere. If you missed the story yesterday, the Royals designated Jeff for assignment. They have 10 days to trade him or release him. And a check swing out to second. And Hill has to throw over Jason Hayward. And he does so in time to retire the side. The Braves strand a pair in the 4th. We head to the 5th. To sweep away Arizona.
Lots of A's. That's a good thing.
It's always a good thing. Got all A's up there. Paul Mahalem gave up the run in the first, but really did a good job because they had first and third and nobody out and only gave up one run. But that lead didn't last long as Brian McCann came up in the bottom of the second, bounced one off the top of the fence for his 9th homer. That tied it. Then after a great play by Jason Hayward, breaking up a double play, that allowed Freddie Freeman to come to the plate with 2 out and hit a 3-run jack and put the Braves up 4-1. 9th homer for Freddie, too.
And Mahalem has looked awfully good. He's given up just 3 hits, but 2 of them were the first 2 hitters today. He's got Parra to start things off. Parra had the other hit. It's an infield safety back in second. Simmons at short. Parra can run, but not fast enough. 1 out. I've got 10 ground ball outs for Mahalem, including the double play ball. That is good to see.
Yes, it is indeed. And no walks. 1 walk last inning in the 4th. But he got a double play to wipe him out.
Will Nieves bats. And is down a quick strike. Washington's in play today. Gio Gonzalez is pitching against the Mets. And the Nationals have a 5-0 lead in the 6th inning at Citi Field.
They scored early, and Gio's beginning to pitch a lot better for the Nationals. And I think they're supposed to get Bryce Harper back tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they said tomorrow.
They've really missed him. Nationals offense has been a big problem for them all year long. 6.5 behind the Braves. 0-2 to Nieves.
I'm sure they're thinking if they can hold her around 5 to 7 or so by the All-Star break and start getting some guys back, that they're going to feel like they're in decent shape to make a run themselves for the second half.
We have 9 more left with Washington.
I believe that's right. Let me look for you, Mr. Gary.
And 6 of the 9 should be on the road.
Yeah, they've already played 10 times. Braves have won 7 out of 10.
The other team to keep an eye on, as Joe said, is the Phillies. We will see them before the All-Star break. They've only played the Phillies 3 times. That was the first season series of the year.
It's the end of June, and we haven't even been to Philly. That's amazing.
Crazy. That might be a blessing in disguise, though, because you probably wouldn't have been able to play at Marion because the U.S. Open
is closed.
So now you probably be able to get out there and play.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to look for the bright side of
yeah.
things.
I like the way you think.
Yeah. And plus you can go to Philly when it's good and hot.
Mm-hmm.
You want us to bring you some scrapple?
Bring me back a cheesesteak.
I'll tell you what, why don't you go with us?
Ooh. Let me think about it.
Okay.
Bill Acree is on the edge of his seat in the traveling secretary's office.
No, he's not.
Waiting for your answer.
He knows what my answer will be.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside, it's 2-2. Phillies are in L.A. later on this afternoon. Kyle Kendrick will get the ball for Philadelphia.
I watched a little bit of that game last night. Boy, is Cliff Lee throwing the ball good.
He had an 8-game winning streak. Was going for his 8th straight win, I should say, last night. But as we told you, A.J. Ellis had the game-winning hit late for the Dodgers.
There's another thing that's just crazy about the game. I mean, a guy like Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, how do those two guys have the first halves they both had in the last 2 years, respectively?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Strike three inside corner. Nieves caught looking. Well, if you're one who believes that averages will average out, that's got to give the Phillies an awful lot of reason to be optimistic. Hamels is not a guy that will see his team lose 14 second-half starts.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
Reading a story about him and his stuff, and his average velocity on his fastball, same. There's not been any big fall off there. His percentage of first pitch strikes, all those things. It's just hard to compute how that all happens in such a bad way for one guy.
Yeah, and I think as a player, that's what makes it so frustrating. When you can't put your finger on one thing to say, hey, this is what's different from a year ago, then you're really left scratching your head.
A liner by Cliff Pennington out of play, foul. And he's quickly down 2 strikes. I think Ruben Amaro's got maybe the most difficult job in baseball at this point. Does he keep that team together and make another push to get the Phillies into the playoffs? Or are they far enough out with veteran older players and big contracts that he needs to break it up and start over?
I would say that they would be a team that would love to talk to the Marlins about Ricky Nolasco. He could really step in and help their rotation, but he's got a pretty hefty contract, as I recall, and that may be a roadblock for that kind of acquisition for the Phils.
Well, remember, you have 3 division winners. You have 2 wild cards. So that does give the Phillies something else for which to shoot besides division, which they're not eliminated from, quite obviously. They're only 8.5 games out.
Something drastic would have to happen, though, because they're 4 games under 500. And there are 3 teams in the Central right now. The Pirates are 20 games over. The Cardinals are 18 over. And the Reds are 11 over.
Right.
Vying for either the division or a wild card spot at this point. So they'd be even harder to catch at this point than the Braves, I think.
Yeah, they got to, at this stage of the game, they got to set their sights on the division.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be tough when you're in a position where you have to climb 2 teams.
Right.
But with all the games head to head with the Braves, that certainly helps their cause if they play well. As it stands now, in the National League, the division winners would be Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Arizona. The wild cards would be St. Louis and Cincinnati. Washington and the Phillies would be out of the postseason if it ended today.
Good at bat by Pennington. Fouled off some pitches, hit the ball hard, got something he can handle.
And Gretchen tells us that at the moment, the Phillies are 4.5 games out of the second wild card.
Yeah, I mean, it puts them, like you say, it's kind of right in that, what do we do? And certainly if they made a run, I don't think that's a team with that pitching staff and what you think they can do that anybody would be thrilled about facing.
Cahill bats with a man aboard here in the 5th inning. There's action in the Arizona bullpen. Still no balls, 2 strikes.
So Cahill will go another inning, Chip. I think whoever was up in their pen sat down.
Their bullpen's worked a lot in this series.
They have.
And Cahill bounces to second, and an easy play for Dan Ugla. 71 pitches for Paul Maholm. He's been awfully efficient. He's through 5 with the lead. It's 4-1.
We're the 878 Engineer Battalion of your Georgia National Guard, broadcasting from southern Afghanistan.
The 878 is based in Augusta and has members all over the great state of Georgia.
Our mission is to find and locate explosive devices and remove them to improve safety for Afghans and our coalition forces.
We miss Georgia and our families, but we have an important job to do.
As you enjoy the game, know that your Georgia National Guard is always ready, always there, and like the Braves, always on target.
So our thanks to our servicemen and women and the families together at Turner Field today. And fans watching from home can take part in today's event by tagging your messages of support and gratitude on Twitter and Instagram with the hashtag FSTribute. All photos and messages will be featured on foxsportssouth.com/tribute. And here's one of them today.
Good stuff.
Ball high to Freddie Freeman, who's had a big day today. He hit a 3-run homer last time up. Yanked into the seats, foul. First row, right above the Braves dugout.
Looks like everybody's okay. Close call there. Those are about as two funny hacks as you'll see from Freddie all year when they're back to back. One chasing the ball helmet high, and then this one pulling it right out of Nieves' glove. Chan looked up Velasco's contract for us, by the way.
Yeah.
Interested. He is in the last year of his deal. He'll be a free agent at the end of the season, so that's part of the consideration too. He's making 11.5.
Freeman shoots one toward right. Parra is there. And that's out number 1. Brian McCann's coming up. He's had a perfect day.
And he's part of our Coors Light Cold Freeze Cam. Home run and a double. He hit this home run in the second inning. Deep left center and freeze it right off the top of the fence. Right into the padding that catapulted it into the seats. That's Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. My beer.
Well, he's got a homer and a double, so he's trying to get a bunt single so he can keep the cycle going.
2 balls, no strikes. Money's no object for the Dodgers, right? They've proven that.
Yeah.
So Velasco's contract, you would think, wouldn't be a big issue for him.
I guess with with those guys, it's always the concern is who you've got to give up, with the fear of you're only going to have them for a couple of months.
Well, I mean, you could go up and down that National League West and look at clubs that might be looking at pitching. How about the Giants? Their starting staff has had its share of issues, but with Angel Pagan out, they've gone from the top of the division to being a game out of last place. They've lost 6 straight.
And just a horrible road team.
Isn't that funny?
14 and 27 on the road, Giants.
You would think their game would translate any place.
Yeah, with what should have been that starting rotation, it should.
It hasn't worked out that way. Colorado, Coors Field, enough said. And Arizona, as we said, they've gone now 21 games without a win by a starting pitcher, and Cahill's losing 4-1 today.
Tom, I think you guys would be a strong enough argument against this. But do you put much stock in the fact that
Ugla hits it a ton straight up in the air to left center field. At the track, at the wall, that one's gone.
Put much stock in the fact that the ball's really carrying today?
Yes, I do.
'To Xfinity and beyond, right over the sign in left center, and the Braves have hit 3 homers today.
As I said, Dan has gotten a head start on his second half. He's now hitting 6 straight.
He's probably wishing he figured this contact thing out a little sooner.
Yeah.
That pitch, whether or not, that's going to travel a long way.
Boy. It went as high as it went far.
Hall of Famer Billy Williams used to say, hit him high and watch him fly. And that's exactly what Dan did. Pollock gave it a valiant try, but no chance. 6-1 Atlanta. The day is done for Trevor Cahill. A 6-1 lead. Atlanta continues to hit in the bottom of the 5th, and we'll check in again with Tom Hart.
Hey, Chip, you know, it's a great day at the ballpark. You can find heroes almost anywhere you look. Some guys with the Wounded Warrior Project have these great seats, thanks to the Wounded Warrior Project. And joined by the Georgia president of the Purple Heart Riders, Joseph Kidder. Tell us about the Purple Heart Riders, what you guys are all about.
We're all about riding and just getting out there for the soldiers who are active and overseas, and also for those soldiers who did not be able to come home. That's what we do. We represent all those soldiers out there that are either one, can't ride, or are unable to ride because they lost their lives in the war, and we're representing them. And we're all riders who have received the Purple Heart from some type of injury during combat in either war, from all wars. We have Vietnam veterans, we have Iraqi veterans, Afghanistan, Desert Storm. We have all those guys that are riding bikes today.
That is an incredible stipulation, an incredible honor, I'm sure, to get together with these guys and ride on a regular basis. What are the discussions like? What's the chatter like when you're out there on the road together?
Basically, it's freeing our minds from, the combat stress that we've had and involved. It's just basically everybody's out there just to enjoy a nice ride, basically what it is. We get together. There's, times where we share stories of how we got it or what we've seen and what we've done. But it's mainly just go out, enjoy a nice ride in the weather, and get out there, and just be a stress relief.
Quite a departure from the events of September 5th, 2007, when you earned your Purple Heart. Tell us about that day.
That day was it was a route clearance that we were doing for 112 over Bakuba, Iraq, and we were down there for many hours to make sure that no one was going to set up IEDs or do anything like that. So while we were there, I was in a tank that day, assigned to a tank unit because I'm a fister, so we used to get assigned to everybody. And so I was assigned to a tank unit that day, and while I was down there trying to clear a route, without us knowing that we were actually parked on a triple stacked anti-tank mine, and when we moved to get out of the way for the other unit to take over, that's when it went off, and I happened to be directly above the IED, but the tank kind of saved my life for that one.
We talk about leadership a lot of times in sports. We talk about great teammates in sports. And I don't need, exact details, but what's it like when the heroes step up in the moments immediately after an event like that?
It's breathtaking when, you have heroes that just react just like that. It's, and you learn a lot about a person that way. Some people, they freeze or they kind of step back, whereas those heroes that are out there just go right after. They don't care about the gunshot. They don't care what the explosion. They just run right to it to make sure everyone's okay, to get to help out everybody, whoever needs help, or lay down fire when it needs to be laid down. That's to me, that's what the hero is. Not the ones who accidentally freeze or whatever. It's the ones who get out, and it's breathtaking to have those people out there.
Was there a hero for you there that day?
To me, it was kind of God saved my life. To me, the whole tank was kind of destroyed. We weren't taking fire at the time. We just took the IED, and the other teams that were there that didn't take it, they quickly surrounded the area to make sure that no one could come near us. And so, but like that day, I thank God, because that's the only reason why I'm alive.
If there's anyone out there who's watching today who's a Purple Heart recipient who isn't aware of the Purple Heart Riders or wants more information, where can they find that?
We have a website. It's www.purpleheartriders.us. And every state has a president, and you can email them directly because their name and their email is on that website. Or you can email the national president, which is Scott, and he'll get back to you. He's the one that hands out the actual patch for the vest, which you got to show on your DD-214 that you received the Purple Heart, or actual paperwork saying that you should have the Purple Heart if you didn't get it on your DD-214.
Thanks for everything you've done. Can we see the patch on yours? Guys, an incredible day at the ballpark continues. Not only the Purple Heart Riders represented here, but the Wounded Warriors as well. Guys, thanks for your service. Chip, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. And more great work from Tom Hart. What a story. Triple stack IED, and the tank saved his life.
Wow. Like we said earlier, these guys choose to put themselves in that, and it's remarkable that they do it.
It is. It's truly remarkable. So proud of all of them.
Josh Colmenter is the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, and like the rest of this Arizona staff, he's walked the first 2 hitters.
Well, it's interesting that Colmenter, with his 20 appearances, he's not given up a hit to a first batter he's faced. That means he's walked 3 guys, the first guy he's faced, and today he's walked 2. He can keep this streak alive if he just keeps walking them.
That's 6 walks for Arizona's pitching today. They had 7 yesterday and 5 in game 1. Wow. Not to mention 3 hit batters in the series by my count.
Back real quick to the Purple Heart Riders. We should point out too, and I think we've mentioned that Freddie Gonzalez is an ardent supporter of the Wounded Warrior Project, but he's also a very avid bike rider. You know, he has at least 1, maybe 2 bikes, and oftentimes rides his bike to the ballpark.
Nothing in 2 for Paul Mahalam. And Paul waved and missed. Nieves thought about faking a throw, then lost the handle, and B.J. Upton moves up. We have seen some weird defensive stuff from Arizona in these 3 games.
I was going to say, just when you think you've seen it all.
He came out like he was going to try to pick him off, and I don't know if BJ was kind of setting him up or not, because he was kind of hung out to dry, and then, then he fired that fastball right in the ground.
I'm assuming that's got to be a catcher's error. Yeah, it is. As the Braves have runners at first and third.
See, I think stolen base and just a bad throw.
Yeah. Joe O. Simpson. The O stands for optimism. As Anderson hits in a 6-1 Braves ball game. And we are so thrilled that our fans are taking part in our tribute to the troops today. If you'd like to contribute, benefits will go to the Wounded Warrior Project. Text WWP to 5055, and you can donate $10 to the Wounded Warrior Project. Make sure to reply yes to confirm your transaction. Message and data rates may apply. And as Joe mentioned, Freddie Gonzalez heavily involved with the Wounded Warrior Project. We hope you will be today as well. Popped up. Nieves in foul ground makes the play, and that retires the side. The Braves got 3 walks and a 2-run homer in the 5th inning. On we go to the 6th. Dan Uggla, new contacts and making more contact. That's a good sign. 6-1 Braves.
by Ram Trucks, by Sherwin-Williams, by Blimpie, and by Toyota. Big day for the Braves bats again. They've hit 3 homers. Brian McCann, a solo shot. Dan Uggla, a 2-run blast. And Freddie Freeman, a 3-run homer. Atlanta tried to sweep the Diamondbacks. We'll have an off day tomorrow. And then we'll welcome the Miami Marlins to town beginning Tuesday night.
They're playing better baseball. Horrible first 2 months, but they're having a good month of June. Giancarlo Stanton's back from the DL and swinging a hot bat. They needed that, certainly, but have not done so well against the Braves in recent times.
And a lot of new faces on that roster. Marcelo Zuna's a rookie who's had a very good start to his big league career. Stanton back and healthy. Logan Morrison, I believe, is active and healthy. We'll miss Jose Fernandez, though, in the 3-game series. He's the flame-throwing right-hander whom some compare, fellows, to Matt Harvey of the Mets.
Kid Turner, though, pitched a complete game yesterday, and he'll pitch Thursday.
Broken bat. A.J. Pollock has another hit. He'll wind his way to second base. It's a leadoff double.
He's hot.
He can fly.
Yes, he can. He got from home to first very quickly.
Real quick.
Every at bat, Martine's been getting a good hand.
And that was not lost on him at all after Friday night. Martine, as we've said so many times, one of the most popular Braves in recent memory, maybe all time. Grew up in this organization, was traded obviously to the Diamondbacks in the Justin Upton transaction. But I think was really humbled and surprised at how complimentary and how gracious Chipper Jones was in mentioning him in his number retirement ceremonies here. Chipper was joking that 2 of his sons were at the game, and the first guy they wanted to go see was Martin Prado. He said one of his sons has a man crush on Prado.
I know my boys weren't happy when he got traded. Just everything you want, plays hard, works hard. Super guy in the clubhouse and off the field in terms of representing your team. I mean, he's the complete package.
I know my mom in Oklahoma, when the season started, she really doesn't keep up with any off-season transactions, but she asked me after the first week, where is Martin? Is he hurt? I said, no, he's in Phoenix. Well, what's he doing there? And I said, well, he got traded. And the next thing out of her mouth was, oh.
A lot of folks said that, but to get something good, you've got to give up something good.
Prado.
Got to work on this.
Yeah, needs a little work.
Oops.
But even Tim Hudson yesterday, when Prado batted for the first time, stepped back off the back of the mound, let the crowd give Martin a little more love here at Turner Field. That's ultimate respect, is it not? When playing for another team and you still get a warm ovation like Prado did. Very nice. Goldschmidt hits first and third, nobody out. And a bouncing ball, Freeman. Second one, first 2. Goldschmidt's done that twice today. Pollock scores the second run, but with a big lead, again, you trade the run for the double play.
most of the time the shortstop's going to come racing across the bag here. But Andrelton has learned with the rockets that get thrown from the first baseman, you better have both your feet under you because there's going to be some sauce on that throw.
I was just going to ask, I wonder how many times Freddie Freeman has to have the pocket of his first base glove relaced. As Hill lines to left. The better question might be, how many times does Simmons have to have his redone from those throws from Freddie Freeman? A run is in for the Diamondbacks. It's now 6-2 Braves. Ground hero. The Braves salute Staff Sergeant Keith Jones out of Ray City, Georgia. As Atlanta gets set to hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's check in again with Tom Hart.
All right, thanks, Chip. 6-2 lead with the Braves, and now joined by Brian Stan, silver medal award winner. Awarded Silver Star, pardon me. And not only that, I get a little nervous when I'm around MMA guys because this kid could crush me. Let's just say that. Played football at the Naval Academy. Then you went on to the military, awarded the Silver Star for your efforts in Western Iraq. And now you've got something really special going with Hire Heroes. Tell us about that.
Certainly. It's no secret that veterans have a very difficult time transitioning from combat and then assimilating back into society and finding a regular civilian job. And so Hire Heroes USA is an organization that's dedicated to helping those veterans find jobs. We also will help their spouses, and we do it in 2 different ways. We do it by helping them to learn how to communicate their skill sets in a civilian language, and then also by engaging corporations, telling them about the benefits of having veterans on their team and having them partner with us so that we can match the veterans we're working with the open positions of the company.
And you know it so well, having served, having been involved in combat. Who was there to help you when you came back?
You know, I got lucky. I ran into a gentleman who was extremely patriotic, and he immediately knew the value of veterans. He believed in my leadership skills. He was an Atlanta guy named John Bartis from the company called Med Assets, and he hired me immediately out of the service. And he brought me in to run Hire Heroes USA specifically to make it something that was getting veterans hired. And currently we average 8.4 veterans a week that get jobs with our assistance, over 400 veterans a year, and we're only 20 people. We're nationwide helping thousands of veterans with their resumes, their interview skills, helping their spouses, helping them realize that American dream that they serve for.
Silver Star came to you due to your efforts in May of 2005 with 42 men under your charge. You were surrounded, 360-degree fight for 6 days, called in close air support, called in tank fire right over your heads. You only had a brief amount of time to lead those guys before you were deployed. How do you become a great leader with 42 men who don't know you?
Well, you know, the big thing is being someone who went to the Naval Academy, then going through Marine Corps training. The Marines trained me for a year to be an infantry officer before I ever deployed. And I can't say enough for how they prepare their leaders and their Marines. And so when you get there, it is second nature to you. You've done the drill so many times, and it's different. When you're making decisions that aren't based on yourself, they're based around the men that are around you that are like sons to you. You put everything you have into it, and, it's like Mr. Miyagi used to say, this tells you you're brave, a medal just tells you you're lucky.
Had it been much more than luck for 6 days, and the men who you served with and served under you, do you still see those guys? Do you get a chance to help those guys out these days?
I certainly do. And, when you talk about 6 days of combat and all the medals that were handed out, the bottom line is, Peyton Manning gets made to look good by the guys around him every day on Sundays when he's playing, and that's what happened with these Marines. I mean, I was in charge of a platoon of some of the best professional warriors you've ever seen, and a lot of people love to talk about combat. They want to hear the war stories, but these guys, they didn't only do well fighting the enemy. They did really well when we were building schools, when we were making businesses come back, and the economy reemerge in the cities in Iraq, and so I couldn't thank those guys enough. They're like sons to me and now like brothers, and that's a lifelong bond.
It pales in comparison, of course, to battle, but Service Academy football is really something special. The Army-Navy rivalry is, of course, and I know our friends in the Southeastern Conference may roll their eyes, it's the best rivalry in all of sports. You guys beat Army 58-12 your senior season. What was that like?
I'll say it's incredible. And the reason, these SEC fans can roll their eyes, but it's different. When you're on a field, when everybody on that field will go to war, and not everybody on that field is going to survive. And I know several members of that game alone that are no longer here because they gave their lives in service to this country. That's what makes it so special. It's more than the stats. It's more than the score, more than the game. It's about a group of men and women that are committed to service, and 2 schools, 2 service academies come together on that special day to play a game of football.
It didn't hurt that you guys won 11 straight over Army starting with that day, did it?
No, it didn't hurt at all, and certainly now that I work with a lot of soldiers, it gives me some bragging rights.
Brian Sand, great to meet you. Thanks for your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Great job.
The people we're talking to today and hearing from, it's like I'm up here writing notes on a score sheet.
Freeman rips one into right center.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like I watch baseball games for a living.
Puts things in perspective.
Boy, oh boy.
And I'll have to concur with Tom. I've seen Brian quite a bit. I've been around him a little bit. He actually has a facility, training MMA facility where my boys skate and play hockey, and he would snap Tom in half pretty quickly. Those guys get after it.
Yeah, we tried to bait Tom into asking or saying "Go Army" at the start of the interview, but he wasn't biting.
Good move.
I'm blown away by all these guys. That's a very poor choice of words today, but taken aback by all the wonderful stories we're hearing about people, and great day. Does put it in perspective, Tom.
Pop fly foul off the bat of McCann. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's inside to the Braves catcher, Brian McCann. 2-1 the count.
What did he say about 8 jobs a week? They're finding jobs about 8 a week. Outstanding. Hopefully that number will go up.
You bet. Now 2-2. Our first National League final is in, and the Marlins won again. Got a big hit in the bottom of the 9th inning to beat San Diego. That's a 6-2 final score down in Miami. Steve Cishek picked up the victory. That's 29 wins now for the Marlins, who've won 7 of their last 11. Fly ball, shallow left. Long run, and the grab made by Cody Ross. That ends the Atlanta sixth. No runs, a hit, a man left.
To 2, and now it's time for our Volkswagen pitching performance, and that today is Paul Maholm. And as we talk about so often, there's more than one ways to get the job done, and today for Paul, it's been predominantly the ground ball. He's had a couple strikeouts today, but ground balls galore. A couple of big double play balls, one in the first inning with runners on first and third, and another one later in the game, same situation, first and third, nobody out. Got the ground balls, double plays, avoided the big innings, and a whole bunch of ground balls in between. So he's had the sinker and the changeup working today. He's kept his infielders busy, and I know infielders always appreciate that.
So Paul just keeps rolling merrily along. Look at all the ground outs. And there's the big, slow curveball. Haven't seen that much, if at all, today. And Cody Ross took it for a called strike. Ross has struck out and has hit into a double play. Simmons, gloves, fires, and it's amazing it was that close. What an effort by Simmons at short, but Ross an infield hit.
Even though you kind of knew he wasn't going to get him, you just wanted to watch him throw. You're glad he caught it because you want to watch him throw. And I don't think this ball ever lost any elevation from out on the outfield grass. Gets to his feet quickly, and a BB.
Gerardo Parra is the hitter. He's 1 for 10 in the series. And a base hit in front of Upton. Back-to-back singles for the Diamondbacks. And the Braves bullpen is working as Nieves hits.
Lefty and a righty. Barbaro, the right-hander, on the left, and Wood, the left-hander, on the right.
Well, it's a good spot for another ground ball double play.
He's already got 3 of those in the game.
I like the way Paul alters his delivery to the plate. Not too many guys can do it with his effectiveness, that slide step. But he'll use different pitches. It won't always be the same pitch on the slide step. Really throws timing off for the hitter.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that, you know, most time, number one, as long as he can throw all of his pitches out of the slide step, then, you know, he's certainly not going to give anything away. But it's the kind of thing that most of the time you're going to tell a pitcher, hey, let's settle on one. You know, let's not keep going back and forth. But in Paul's case, like you said, he does a good job of mixing both of those in, and it makes it really hard for a runner to kind of gauge what he's doing and time it.
Two balls and a strike for Nieves. Always have to worry about this Arizona club, for like the Braves, they've been an excellent comeback team this year. Yesterday, the Braves won their 23rd comeback win. Arizona has 22 of them. Little pop. That is going to be the infield fly. So Nieves pops out, 2 on, 1 away. Pennington scheduled to hit. He's the Arizona shortstop today. All year long, Braves baseball on Fox Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day. Cliff Pennington hitting .228.
So the Diamondbacks are on this long road trip. Started in Washington. They lost 2 out of 3 there. They're on the verge of getting swept here unless they rally. And they go to New York for 4 days, and they're going to get Matt Harvey in one of those games.
And their starters, counting today, have gone 22 games without a win.
That's a rough trip.
That 22-game stretch is the second longest in Arizona team history. The Diamondbacks in their expansion year in 1998 had 24 consecutive games without a win by a starter. They took care of that the very next year, though. The Diamondbacks went from 65 wins to 100 wins. As they had a guy by the name of Randy Johnson join their club, among others.
That helped a little.
Is that their world championship year?
It was a couple years later.
Oh.
Kurt Schilling had not joined them yet. They had a good staff. They had Todd Stottlemyre, Young Hung Kim, Greg Swindell, Andy Bennis, and Vicente Padilla were among those who pitched for them in 1999. Buck Showalter was the manager. Carlos Tosca was the Arizona bench coach back then. And a walk to Pennington loads the bases for Arizona. And let's answer our AT&T Universe trivia question. What former Brave holds the all-time record for most career wins against the Diamondbacks?
I'll say, with all due respect to present company, I'm going to say Greg Maddux.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but I got to go with Smoltz.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'll go with, well, it's got to be one of the big 3. I'm going to go with Tom Glavine because he is sitting next to me and I have no other ideas who to guess. So the answer is.
We're all wrong.
He pitched for the Giants, remember?
That's right. I was trying to think along those lines, but no name came to mind.
Well, you were second, Tom.
I was?
Yep.
How many did I have?
Jason had 15. You had 10. 10 and 4. With a 287. Tim Hudson is next with 7. Then Derek Lowe. And then Kevin Millwood. Oh, page 2. Sorry.
Yeah, say that in a Paul Harvey voice.
80. 9th on that list is Greg Maddux, tied with John Smoltz.
Jason Kubel, by the way, is the pinch hitter with the bases loaded. 0-2.
One side note to page 2. Greg Maddux in his career 3-11 against the Diamondbacks.
Really?
Wow. Remember, he pitched a bunch of games against them when he was with the Padres and Dodgers there at the end of his career too. Thank you, Chan.
Swing and a miss. Kubel is down on strikes. Mahalem changed his arm angle and got the left-hand hitter. That's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, he's got the regular delivery, the slide step, and then the 3/4 sweeping curveball. Good spot for that pitch.
And it's the last pitch of the day that Mahalem will throw. A crafty performance by the Braves left-hander. He'll get a big ovation. 6 2/3 of 2-run baseball against the Diamondbacks. And 98 pitches in total. Back to Turner Field in a minute.
Desmond, stay safe.
Bases loaded for Arizona. The day is done for Paul Mahalem. And our first AT&T call to the bullpen goes out to Anthony Favaro.
33rd game for Anthony out of Staten Island, New York. Worked here last night, just a third of an inning, walked a batter. But as we said last night, well rested. That was his first action in about a week.
One thing you like about Anthony coming into this appearance, he's inherited 8 runners, only one of them scored. A tough hitter, A.J. Pollock, who's had a good series, greets him first.
Saw and talked to Eric O'Flaherty a little bit before the ball game. Didn't have his brace on anymore. He's actually got a lot of flexibility already in his left elbow from his Tommy John surgery. And doing everything he's supposed to do on his rehab, but says at least now, without that brace, he can dress himself, you know, and not have any trouble.
That's always important.
Yes.
Favaro gets his first man, and the Diamondbacks leave him loaded in the 7th inning. 6-2, Atlanta has the lead. As we prepare to send you to the 7th inning stretch, CPI Security presents the singing of God Bless America. Timothy Miller, as is customary at Turner Field, will perform the honors for a big crowd on our tribute to the troops Sunday here in Atlanta.
As we celebrate our great nation with the singing of God Bless America, performed by Atlanta opera tenor Timothy Miller.
While the storm clouds gather
far across the sea,
Let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful
for a land so fair.
As we raise our voices in a solemn prayer.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet
Lead for the Braves as we come out of the seventh inning stretch. Tom Hart joined now by Chaplain Leslie Nelson from the Georgia National Guard. Thanks for being with us. Bronze Star Award winner. Tell me about that.
Well, I had a pretty successful tour as a chaplain in Afghanistan, and I was able to help a lot of soldiers during difficult times. We have things called mass cal events, and when a mass casualty happens, there are a lot of injuries and a lot of issues, and I'm able to go in and work with the soldiers and just help calm them down a little bit and help be with them when they're in the hospital.
What a tremendous service you provide, and oddly enough, as a huge Braves fan, you've found a motivating story for the soldiers you work with today in one Evan Gaddis.
Absolutely. I really love Evan Gaddis, and I really love his story. And, you know, we do. Suicides are up in the military, and trying to find ways of prevention and ways to encourage our soldiers. I love Evan Gaddis' story because he's honest and he's real. And I can say, hey, listen, you might not become a Brave later down the road, but you can overcome adversity and you can be successful. So I love him. I love Evan Gaddis.
That's an amazing story, and I know you're a big Braves fan, and you would have found that as a motivator even if you weren't. But I have to ask you this question. When you're watching the wild card game last year and an infield fly occurs, is a chaplain allowed to curse?
I did not curse. However, I did say something in a prayer this year before the season started that might, that the refs might understand the difference. Umpires might understand the difference between an infield and an outfield fly.
You grew up in Wyoming. You now live in Georgia, obviously with the Georgia National Guard. How did you become a Braves fan?
I grew up in Wyoming during Ted Turner's time, and I watched them on TBS every night when I came in from playing outside.
It's a familiar story. We love hearing it. Now tell me about how you got involved in the military.
I was actually recruited to become a chaplain. I was the associate pastor at a church, and a chaplain started attending our church, and he said, I think you'd be a really great chaplain. And I said, what? And he said, no, really. And he actually had a recruiter call me, and a couple months later I was in the military, and about a year later I was in Afghanistan.
Guys, never doubt the power of prayer. I want to reference my scorebook for this. This was early in the game. I believe it was after Freddie Freeman grounded out, and the folks you were sitting with, including our president, Jeff Gentner, said, can't you help us out a little bit? Lo and behold, the very next batter, Brian McCann goes yard.
Yeah. Hey, big God. We got a big God. And he loves the Braves, too.
Yeah, we believe he's a Braves fan. Thanks for everything you do. I know it's so important for these soldiers to have you there. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
All right, and that prayer is worth triple today, guys. 3 times.
We could use all the help we can get up here. Thanks, Tom.
Great people. Wonderful stories.
She's a better person than I am because I was cussing when the infield fly.
Yeah, no kidding. I was doing the game, and I was hitting the talk back pretty hard.
Yeah.
Trying to block out my voice.
2 balls, no strikes to B.J. Upton. Will Harris, by the way, pitching for the Diamondbacks. This is the 3rd time we've seen him in the series. He's pitched good ball. He's struck out a couple of men in an inning and 2/3 now.
3rd day in a row.
Couple of walks and a flyout today for B.J. Upton.
What a cool thing that Chaplin was able to use Evan Gaddis as a reference point and as a motivational factor. That's just wonderful.
Waiting 2 now to B.J. Upton. Yeah, for Evan Gaddis, the anxiety problems, gave up baseball. Drug and alcohol issues, odd jobs, living in his truck, falling back in love with the sport, and then trying out again, going back to junior college, getting discovered, getting to the minor leagues, having success, and then made it to Major League Baseball with the Braves and having a sensational start to his rookie year. As Upton's down on strikes after getting ahead 3 balls and no strikes, that's out number 2. And Chris Johnson is the hitter.
Time for our Coors Light cold hard fact. Diamondbacks pitching the last 21 games. You see the record, but the starters 0-9. Today would mark the 22nd straight game that their starting pitcher has not won a game.
That's not a good sign for your first place club in a tight division.
Well, like I said, you're not going to be there too long if that trend continues.
Washington all over the Mets. That's 13-0 now in the 9th inning. Zach Wheeler made his home debut, gave up 5 runs.
In New York, 5-0 just about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes. Delta Airlines is the proud sponsor of the Braves. Chris Johnson, the proud 3rd baseman of the Braves, looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Every position player's been on base at least once today.
And a shot past Prado.
You know what, the guy can hit, folks. He can inside out a ball and go to right center. He can get an 0-2 hit the other way. And you throw him something down and in, he'll turn on it and hit it hard.
Braves have scored 20 runs in this series. 31 hits. And he'll give way to Paul Janisch to pitch run. Paul will play defensively the rest of the way. And Reed Johnson bats for Bavaro. Strike for Reed. 6 runs, 9 hits for the Braves. 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Arizona.
Reed got it all started in the 8th inning yesterday, getting hit with a pitch after 1 out. Braves went on to score 7 runs.
That's hit hard to center. Pollock going back. It's over his head. And it's going to bounce into the seats. That's a tough break. Janisch would have scored easily on that play. Instead, he's got to stop at third base as Reed Johnson rips a double to center.
Reed's getting a few more at bats in consecutive games, and he's making the best of it. He got 2 at bats in 1 inning yesterday. He smoked that one. Now, Paul was already around second. He would have scored.
All of a sudden, Reed Johnson with 8 pinch hits.
Led all of baseball last year with the most hits. Nagy may want to know from Harris, are you all right? I mean, can you finish this inning after 3 days, this being the 3rd day in a row? They've got Tony Sipp up again as well, and he's been in the first 2 games. I think that's why they went as long as they did with Cahill. Coleman is their long reliever. He's gone 4 innings 3 different times out of their bullpen. But they pinch hit for him with Kubel in the top of this inning.
Times are tough for the Diamondbacks. The Braves with double-digit hits for the 3rd time in the series. And a ball outside for Simmons. 1-0 the count.
It's one thing when you're giving up a lot of hits, but when you're compounding it with all the walks they've given up in this series.
Yeah, you can work around the hits a little bit, but not when you're giving up double-digit hits and all those walks.
18 walks issued by the Diamondbacks in the series. And Simmons rolls out to end the Atlanta 7th. We head to the 8th. Braves 6, Diamondbacks 2. Power, by AT&T, and by CPI Security. Through 7, Atlanta 6, Arizona 2. The Braves trying to sweep the Diamondbacks and win their 48th game this year. Before we continue on, let's check out today's SunTrust Shining Moment.
Anything that you could do today that would make a day at the ballpark even more special?
You know what? I can think of something. Shuri, I love you. And I was wondering if you grow old with me.
And in case you wondered, the answer was go Braves.
Yeah. I just love that laugh. That was so funny.
Couple of changes for the Braves as we head to the 8th. Paul Yanish takes over, as we told you, at third base. And David Carpenter. More good work from him out of the bullpen. And he jumps ahead of Prado. No balls, 2 strikes.
Pitched the 9th inning last night as it worked into the night. In that long ball game, he got the side retired after giving up a leadoff single to Prado.
Inside out swing and rolled out to second. And Prado is 2 for 4. That's one out in the 8th. Let's check it again with Tom.
All right, Chip, guys, thanks. I'm with Dan Nevins and his daughter, Carissa, private Carissa, by the way. Dan, you're with the Wounded Warriors Project. We love it with the Atlanta Braves. Our manager, Freddie Gonzalez, spends a lot of time with it. And just for those who may not know, can you tell us a little bit about it?
About Freddie?
About the Wounded Warriors. We know enough about Freddie.
Great, exactly. Well, Wounded Warrior Project exists to honor and empower Wounded Warriors. And we do that through 18 different programs that help heal the body, help heal the mind, encourage economic empowerment, whether that's through educational programs or employment programs, and encourage engagement with one another as warriors, because when we leave the battlefield, everything we own is cut off us and we're sent to some military treatment facility. All we want to do is be back with our brothers and sisters serving in harm's way, and we can't. So we have programs, all of our programs are really designed to bring warriors and families back together, stay engaged with one another so we can have people that understand our stories to tell our stories to, and to listen to others that need to tell their stories.
How did your experience on the battlefield and your injuries help you in your role today?
You know, ironically, I wouldn't trade the person I am today for the person I was 9 years ago. It taught me, losing both legs and living every day with a traumatic brain injury has taught me so much about life and what it means to be a good, decent human being and what it means to serve. And I enlisted to fight in the Gulf War, but it was over before I even left for training, but because that war was 12 days long. But I tell you what, now having the uniform basically taken from me, said you are no longer fit to serve, I get to find a new way to serve through Wounded Warrior Project and be, you know, if you look at our logo, it's one warrior carrying another off the battlefield. And instantly when I got hurt, I identified with the warrior on the top, but now I identify more with the warrior on the bottom of that logo, kind of throwing the ladder back over the fence and being there for the warriors that are hurt today and their families, because they think life is forever changed. But I'm here to tell them that their disability doesn't define them, or maybe it's a wound that you don't see. It doesn't define you. You can be whatever it is you want to be and move forward with your life and be an active, productive member of your community and your country.
How did your injuries occur?
10 November 2004, we're headed out for an early morning combat mission. And I remember 0400 hours in the morning, pitch black, down a slow dirt road en route to what would be our dismount site. And then boom, the silence of that pre-dawn was destroyed by a very large blast that sent my 18,000-pound vehicle about 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I was knocked out for a few seconds, but ultimately I lost both legs from that injury, and I obviously had a pretty bad traumatic brain injury. And I remember one of the most poignant things is my nurse, when I woke up from my anesthetic coma, she said, "Your femoral artery was cut in half. We managed to save your life. You're a very lucky man. We had to take your left leg below the knee. We managed to save your right one for now, but you'll probably lose that one too." And I instantly thought grief, remorse, and then I looked up and I saw my team on the side of that tent. And then it instantly turned to, you know what? I'm still here. Let's make the best of it. And it's been, every day has been a gift since then, just sharing stories with my friends right there in the tent. And then 18 months at Walter Reed and so many different surgeries. It has been, it's been a blessing to come this far and to now have the opportunity to still continue to serve.
Thank you so much. And Carissa, after all of this, you decide to join the military. You just finished basic training. How did your father's trials and tribulations, and now how he's fought back and helped so many people, how did that impact you?
It really did impact me a lot, and it actually helped inspire me to actually join the military, because growing up I saw what the service meant to him before his injury and afterwards. So it helped really inspire me to do the same thing. Hopefully I can make a big impact like he did.
Well, now that you're finished with basic training, what's next for you in your military career?
Right now I'm going to signal school at Fort Gordon, so I'm learning how to do my job. What's after that, I don't know, not for another 2 weeks at least, but I still have like 4.5 months of training left.
It's an amazing story, but the first thing I thought of when I saw you out in the field pregame was your golf attire and your belt. So let's talk about your golf game for a moment. You live in Jacksonville. You get a chance to play a couple nice courses.
I do. Yeah, I'm a member at TPC Sawgrass. I worked for the PGA Tour for a little while, and they were kind enough to give me a membership through the Wounded Warrior Project that I get to keep in perpetuity. And I get to play not as often as I'd like. I'm on the road a lot now, trying to help fulfill our mission, the Wounded Warrior Project. But when I do get to play, I still enjoy it. But when I worked for the tour, I was a single-digit handicap. Now I'm back trickling into the double digits. So. All
right, so everyone who's seen it and those who have been lucky enough to play it, give us the secret to 17.
The secret to 17 is it's not a hard hole. It's 135 yards, 143 at the most. Easy pitching wedge. Take the water out of play. You're on the green.
He makes it sound so easy. You know what else seems easy on this fly ball to center field to end the inning? Is Freddie Gonzalez helping out the Wounded Warrior Project. We're so proud of him doing that, and I know you guys are too.
Oh, yeah, Freddie's been great. I've always heard his name percolate through conversations from early on. And, our organization is celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. And I've heard his name consistently in recent years of doing more and more. And today is evidence. I mean, he was very genuine in his remarks this morning, and I truly believe that he is as passionate as they come to honor and empower Wounded Warriors and to assist us in our mission and our vision to help make this the most successful, well-adjusted generation of Wounded Warriors in our nation's history.
Dana, Chris, and Evans, thanks so much. I know Chip has more on the Wounded Warriors Project. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Indeed, Tom, thank you very much. Great job. Our tribute to the troops benefits the Wounded Warrior Project. Here's how you can help. Text WWP to 50555 to give $10 to the Wounded Warrior Project. Make sure you reply yes to confirm your transaction. Message and data rates may apply. Tip of the cap to Freddie Gonzalez and our Wounded Warriors here today. On Fox Sports South, and Tribute to the Troops is brought to you by CPI Security. Great day in Atlanta. As we told you, baseball taking a back seat to our third annual Tribute to the Troops. So many great stories, so many inspiring stories today, and special tip of the cap to Tom Hart for introducing us to the men and women of the military. And another great fan and friend is Major General Jim Butterworth, who's here with the Georgia Army National Guard. And General, great to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Great to see you, too. Appreciate you having us here today.
We're all just dumbstruck by these stories. These kids who are young enough to be our own children and the amazing heroic deeds they've turned in.
It is pretty incredible. It makes me feel old, even at 47. But these folks are doing things at 18, 20, 22 years old that the rest of us just kind of hear some stories about like you're talking about, but they're delivering each and every day.
And what a great day. Again, third annual salute to the troops,
yes,
and it
sir.
seems to get better every year, and today's been quite a day. What does it mean to you guys?
Well, it means a great deal. Number one, the commitment that the Braves and Fox Sports South have committed to our folks year after year. That means a lot. But it's also something for these folks to look forward to know that they're going to be put out there on the field. It's a conversation that goes on all year long, I can promise you that.
The Georgia Army National Guard's gotten some very significant recognition recently. Jim, tell us about that.
Yes, sir. It's a program called the Army Communities of Excellence. And the Georgia Army Guard competes with 53 other National Guard organizations across the country. And this year, and we've competed for about 12 years, and we've won second, third, fifth. This year, we're number one.
Wow.
Yeah, our team has delivered, and we have hit the Grand Slam this year without a doubt.
Up to first off the bat of Jason Hayward, and that's out number one. Specifically, what is the competition?
Well, it's a measure of anything from the facilities that we have and that we provide to our folks to the processes that we have. It goes so far as interviewing our customers and making sure that we're providing the service that we need to. Literally, I mean, even the Georgia National Guard has customers, believe it or not, and we're making sure that program makes sure that we're delivering on every single front.
Well, along those notes, tell us about some of the great things that the Georgia National Guard is doing here at home.
Well, one of the things, Tom, that we're not working on is traffic. I understand you had that conversation with the mayor.
Yeah, he'd like a helicopter ride home if you could arrange that.
I don't know anything about that. Yes,
or
sir.
a tank.
Right.
No, I feel like I'm driving in a tank around here sometimes.
I'm glad you asked the mayor that question, though. But as far as what we're delivering on, we have 60 different locations around the state and 15,000 people, including about 1,000 folks that are deployed overseas right now today. And they're making a difference in Georgia, ready to deliver at a moment's notice.
And that's an important point, too, because while the headlines overseas aren't as consistent or constant that we are in battle overseas,
yes,
there's a myth that, well, everybody's already home right now.
Yeah,
that's not the case, is it?
Definitely a myth, 100% myth. We're sending folks out the door. God bless them when they go out the door. We pray over them, literally. I do that myself. And then we welcome them home excitedly when they come back. And that's going on all the time. And like I mentioned, almost 1,000 folks just from Georgia. But that's not including the active duty folks from Georgia that leave and come back to Georgia as well. But in the Georgia Army Guard, about 1,000 folks that are in harm's way. So we definitely appreciate your prayers.
And thank you again for a challenge coin.
Yes, sir.
It's a wonderful thing. I showed you. I've still got mine that I carry with me all the time.
I'm always ready.
Yeah.
Know? Always ready if you're challenging. I'm ready.
I know the story. Explain
Yes,
though
sir.
to the folks at home how that works.
Well, it goes a long way back, and I'm actually an Air Guard guy, and you know, pilots do odd things, and of course pilots would claim the whole challenge coin thing, but the idea is that you would put your coin down on the bar, and if the other folks that are there didn't have their coin to present, then they're perhaps buying around. That's how the legend goes anyway.
I
as
see.
they say. Yes, sir.
So if you match up, if I've got mine though, and you bring yours out,
you're buying.
Then okay. How's it? It seems like I'm buying every time. I'm not sure.
I like this
how
idea.
It turned out, but
now the folks overseas, are they able to keep in touch? It sounds like a trivia question, but are they able to follow Braves baseball? Are they able to see the games when
Yes.
they're overseas?
Absolutely. There are a number of different methods that they use. Military folks in general are very creative, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But they also, and this is another part of the story, to be honest with you, the family side of it. And I thought that's what you were going to ask. But the idea that our folks are able to maintain communication with their family while they're gone through any number of different methods, they can do that. And that's definitely, this is a tribute to the troops. I might even throw in it's a tribute to the troops and the families as well.
Yeah, that's something we talked about earlier, and I want to say it's a forgotten part of the equation, because I hope it's not the case, but it is easy to forget the husbands or the wives who are home with the children while a loved one is serving the country overseas.
That's exactly right. It doesn't matter if it's a mom, dad, cousin, uncle, aunt, sister, brother. Every single one of those folks that you see in uniform has got at least one of those, if not more.
And another question I've always wanted to ask you as a member of the armed services, you have to be just overwhelmed when you see the reactions of fans greeting our service members on a day like this. Every Sunday we have the hometown hero. We've commented so many times about the pats on the back these guys get day in and day out.
Yes, sir. And it's great, number one, that you all do that. But it's another part of it that they are remembered all the time, and being a part of this formation, I guess, for lack of a better term, before the game started today, that was just a moving thing, especially with the fans being very responsive to it. That's just a blessing.
Well, Jim, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming by.
Yes,
we can't wait to see you again next year.
Sir.
Be safe, fly safe, take good care of the folks from
Will
our
do.
great state to overseas, and we can't wait to see them back home
Will
safe
do.
and sound.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. Thanks to you all.
Major General Jim Butterworth of the Georgia Army National Guard. To say thank you. Thank you to the men and women of our armed forces, the people who protect our country, our lives, and our freedoms while risking their own. It's our third annual Tribute to the Troops, and it's a day we at Fox are proud to share with you at home. These soldiers are brave. They have a choice, and it's their choice to put their lives at risk every day. They know the danger, but they do it anyway. There's a word for that. It's called hero. And we salute and honor our heroes in Atlanta today. We head to the ninth inning. It's 6-2. Atlanta leading the Diamondbacks. Gerardo Parra will face David Carpenter. And it's in for a strike. Thoughts on the day today, fellas?
It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's you get done hearing one person speak and telling some stories, and you think, all right, well, can't top that, and then the next guy does. So it's just been one after another of just remarkable stories.
I think overwhelming was a good word that you used earlier. It just makes you very mindful of how great we have it, how easy we have it, and why we have it this way, what it takes. Just a small glimpse of what it takes.
And hopefully the mayor knows I was just kidding around with him.
I know you were dead serious.
And it's GLAVI.
I don't have to deal with the traffic very much, so it's not my problem.
Oh.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm not saying it's not my problem per se. I'm just saying, you know.
Very civic-minded, isn't he?
You know, we have a member of our crew who has a very useful statement.
Yeah.
That we've heard from time to time. First, the pitch to Parra. Anthony's a strikeout. That statement is just stop talking.
Yeah, right.
Sherwin-Williams painting the corners here on Fox Tracks. Boy, a good pitch right at the knees for David Carpenter's first strikeout.
When you're located in that bottom corner box,
yeah,
you're in a good spot. That's the one you practice in the bullpen all the time.
Sonny Avis, the batter. He came in a hot hitter, but the Braves cooled him off. He's 0 for 3 today. And that's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, the Braves continue to play dominant baseball at home. This will be the 28th Braves victory at Turner Field. They've lost just 11 times. And a liner to short. That's the second out. And to pay off two fellas for this Atlanta team in the second half with all the road games we played. Sooner or later, those are going to start to even up. And if percentages continue, Braves are going to be in even better shape in the East. And now Arizona down to its final out. Braves Live presented by AT&T is next. Freddie Gonzalez will talk about Paul Maholm's work today. Atlanta with 3 homers. We'll show you those highlights and hear from the Braves locker room too. All that coming up after the 27th out. $34,574 of the crowd today. Braves drew 122,000 for the series. Day of rest tomorrow. Then the Marlins are in Tuesday night. Chris Medlin will get the ball for the Braves as we will turn the calendar to July. David's bringing it. That one at 95 miles an hour.
Braves did a great job this entire series of controlling Paul Goldschmidt, who is the biggest threat in their lineup. He went 1 for 9 in the series. 1 for 9. He drew a walk today because the double plays did not drive in a run and did not have an RBI in the series.
And for a man that came in with 67 RBIs, that's saying something. Swing and a miss. The Braves have swept the Diamondbacks. What better way to salute the troops? Atlanta 6, Arizona 2. That's your final score. A 3-game weekend sweep. What a time to be a Braves fan. We'll recap it for you after this.